This keeps on getting better for the Boston Celtics as we've seen Peyton Pritchard absolutely erupt, breaking Celtics records and pushing for that sixth man of the year. We're also going to be looking at some injury updates as well, revolving around Sam Hauser and Jayson Tatum, as they were both sidelined in yesterday's contest. How will this all affect Joe Mazzulla as he gears up for his Sunday matchup versus the Washington Wizards? We'll be getting into all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. Without further ado, let's dive into the video at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And like I said in the introduction, we're going to go over some new injury updates as we have some revolving around the stars Jayson Tatum and role player Sam Hauser. As we know, they both sat out in yesterday's contest versus the Detroit Pistons, as Sam Hauser is dealing with a right adductor strain, and Jayson Tatum is also dealing with some knee issues. But if we want to look at this injury update, we can see that for the Celtics here, excuse me if I hit this correctly, from Bobby Kravitsky, that Joe Mazzulla said that Jayson Tatum and Sam Hauser are progressing and that both will make their trip to DC for Sunday's game against the Wizards. Both were seen practicing today, and this is good for Celtics fans. We obviously want to see Sam Hauser and Jayson Tatum play in this next game, so having them take the trip, make sure they get to go to Washington is a step in the right direction to give us a little bit of a more likelihood chance for them to play. And if we want to look at this stat, courtesy of Ian Angelo, we can see that Jayson Tatum has been an absolute Iron Man for the Boston Celtics. If you want to look, he has been suiting up for the Celtics in a majority of their contests. So to see Jayson Tatum sit out or deal with an injury is a rare occurrence. So seeing him sit out last week versus the Pistons, seeing him sit out this week versus the Pistons could just be the Celtics resting him versus some of these worst teams, or it could be some sort of little injury causing with Jayson Tatum. But as we all know, at this very moment, at least he'll be traveling on Sunday alongside Sam Hauser to DC with the team, which gives optimism that he will be suiting up on Sunday alongside Sam Hauser as long as they continue to progress in practice. And that's something that all Celtics fans want to see. So it's something that we're hoping for as well. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section on all that news. But let's get into the big beefy news at hand today. As Peyton Pritchard is on another level, ladies and gentlemen. He is absolutely performing some master class movement for the Boston Celtics on a fantastic contract, and he is setting records in Celtics history, which is just crazy to see. If we want to look at this, we can see from Peyton Pritchard last night, without Jayson Tatum, without Sam Hauser, this Celtics team went and throttled the Detroit Pistons. Fourth quarter, the Pistons scored a little bit with Ron Holland, but besides that, the Celtics had taken care of business from the get-go. Both teams started out struggling from shooting, but the Celtics found their rhythm going into halftime, and it was over after that. And Peyton Pritchard was a big part of that, where he had a team high 27 points, 7 threes to go along with a season high 10 assists, where he was playmaking, setting up the offense, but not only just scoring from 3-point range, hitting his steps backs, but also scoring from the mid-range and driving to the basket as well. And if we want to keep looking at these stats for Peyton Pritchard, he has more threes than all of these names listed down below, where he has one of the only two players in the NBA that has 95 threes. That's right, him and Anthony Edwards are just the lone two. But Peyton Pritchard, like I mentioned, is writing himself in history as he made his 500th career three-pointer last night, becoming the 10th Celtic to reach that mark. But not only doing that, is he only one of the 10 Celtics to hit 500 threes, but he is one of two Celtics to hit 500 threes and shoot 40% from three-point range in those attempts. The only other is Ray Allen, known of it as the Celtics' greatest shooter all time. This is courtesy of Taylor Snow, but just great to see Peyton Pritchard is having some shooting like season comparative to Steph Curry in the same kind of shooting percentage as Ray Allen. And this just goes to show you what Peyton Pritchard could truly be for the Celtics team when he reaches his full potential, because this is not even the best Peyton Pritchard that you can get. Like we mentioned, Peyton Pritchard became the first player in Celtics franchise history to record 25 points, 10 assists, and 5 3-pointers off the bench in a Celtics win, which notes him in the history books once again. But last night, when Peyton Pritchard did this, he was the first player to achieve these numbers off the bench since Ricky Rubio in 2021, where Rubio had 37, 10, and 8 threes. Obviously, player in Peyton Pritchard had 27, 10, and 7. But that is just crazy to see that comparison. And if we want to keep looking at these comparisons, let's look at this comparison, courtesy of my boy Nate on Twitter. He compared Malcolm Brogdon's 6th Man of the Year season to Peyton Pritchard's. And if you look at these stats, we can see that Peyton Pritchard averaging more points, averaging more rebounds, averaging more assists, less blocks, more steals, has a better true shooting percentage, better 3-point percentage, better 3-point attempts, better. Brogdon has the better field goal, but he does have and a little bit worse plus minus. But Pritchard is in the same stats and same categories, if not better, than sixth man of the year from a couple seasons ago, Malcolm Brogdon. And if Peyton Pritchard can keep up these stats and keep up these numbers, then I think he has sixth man of the year locked down. And like I said, not only is Peyton Pritchard gotten better for the Celtics off the bench. But this is key because if the Celtics have this engine motor scorer like Peyton Pritchard on this bench unit going into the playoffs, man, oh man, are other teams going to be scared going up against Peyton Pritchard in that second unit, because Peyton Pritchard can really just take over command for this second unit and go up and torch some of those opposing bench units. And if the Celtics get an easy matchup in the first or second round, Peyton Pritchard could easily expose that team's second unit defensively with his ability to create shots, be a playmaker, be able to score at will from three-point range. We've seen Peyton Pritchard evolve in his step back. I see you seeing Peyton Pritchard doing some crazy moves out there, and it's just absolutely making me smile from ear to ear. This just keeps getting better for the Boston Celtics, because not only do they have Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, two of the league's best wings, Kristaps Porziņģis, one of the best shooting bigs in the league, Jrue Holiday and Derrick White, two of the best perimeter defenders, but they have a terrific scorer off the bench at Peyton Pritchard, who could possibly even eclipse into that starting lineup, but is that true sixth man of the year that Brad Stevens wants to have and Joe Mazzulla wants to keep under this roster. And I guarantee you that Peyton Pritchard will not see any starting minutes. If the Celtics need a starter, they will continue to play him off the bench so that he can compete for this role. But Pritchard is already putting on like a god-like season so far for this Celtics team, as he has shown us that he has been able to be a terrific three-point scorer, been able to show that he can be that sixth man of the year if he's putting up numbers similar to Malcolm Brogdon, who previously won it, if not better stats. And Pritchard had this to say when talking about his sixth man of the year case. If we want to look at this, courtesy of Jack Simone, he asked Peyton Pritchard on his sixth man of the year, and Pritchard said, "It's not something that I really think about. If I'm fortunate to win, I guess it's a testament to the hard work I put in, but yeah, it would be an honor." So Pritchard isn't even looking into the eyes of the sixth man of the year. He's just out there to ball, play his best basketball, and showcase Joe Mazzulla and Brad Stevens that he deserves a long-term role. Playing on a $6 million contract, ladies and gentlemen, Peyton Pritchard is averaging 16.5 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 turnover on 48% shooting from the field and 43% shooting from three-point range. That is absolutely insane from a player at the age of 26 years old who is on a cheap contract. I could tell you that when Peyton Pritchard obviously wanted out of Boston a couple seasons ago, it was due to the frustrations of him not getting minutes, and I am glad that Brad Stevens went out and moved other assets in Malcolm Brogdon and Marcus Smart, who had some tenure here with the Celtics already, to ensure that Peyton Pritchard could stay here long-term to develop, to truly become what the Celtics believed that he would be when they said they drafted him, as they felt he was the best point guard that they drafted since Rajon Rondo, and I can say that they were not wrong in that assessment. Peyton Pritchard has stepped up, delivered, and gotten better at every asset of the game, from his scoring to his defense to his rebounding, and is truly putting on a show for Celtics fans all around the world and NBA fans all around the world that want to get a fantastic showcase. Which started out as a guy who was hitting cool half-court shots and stepping out and sidestepping out of bounds, has turned into one of the premier six-man and scorers on the bench unit in the NBA, and definitely deserves his recognition. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, how you guys ultimately feel about Peyton Pritchard, this Boston Celtics team, and these injury updates that are coming. Like I said, Celtics' next game is on Sunday when they take on the Washington Wizards in their second NBA Cup consolation game. Should be an exciting one, where the Celtics should be able to handle the Wizards seemingly like they've done throughout the regular season, but we'll have to wait and see. So ultimately, we'll have a post-game video coming up for that. We'll have videos leading up to that as well. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything revolving around this Celtics team, make sure to hit that like, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 6,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Without further ado, I'm Bruce Velez. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and go Boston Celtics. Peace out, y'all.